Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out to Coffee Tea, You and Me. I hope you all are excited because I am. Today's program is going to be extra special. I know I say that every week, but this program today, I promise you, is really going to be extra special. I hope you hang in there. We got lots of gifts. We got lots of opportunities, lots of things to share with you all when it comes to learning and developing your business, your strategy, things that you need to do to make sure that everything that your business needs is exciting and accessible. Just a little homework for everyone. As you're coming into the room, as people are coming into the room, I would ask that you put your name in the chat, where you're coming from, and where you found the program. What inspired you to come here today? If you found us on LinkedIn, or if you found us on YouTube, or if you found us on Facebook Live, I need to know that because it helps me figure out, where our efforts are best done when it comes to marketing the program. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, hit the like button, and anything you can do to help share the program with others, I absolutely appreciate. It means a lot to me that you're here, and there's a lot to me that you share. I've got some big goals, some things that I'm trying to do over the next year and a half that I think are going to be extra special. Just in case you guys didn't know, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm putting together a MOOC. Now, what is a MOOC? A MOOC is a massive online course, and the course itself is hopefully going to help literally thousands and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs and business leaders learn how to bounce back from COVID-19. Whatever issues that they were facing, we're going to put together that bounce back course. In fact, the working title of the course is business bounce back. And so, says the title, the strategy. Looks like I'm having a little bit of internet issues here, and I want to make sure that I'm putting together for those of you all. I just had a couple internet glitches just now, and I want to make sure I put my backup in case we have a problem moving forward. So I'll beg your patience for just a second. Okay, I don't know what happened just now, but I hope I found and everybody got back. And I'm back on. I am going to set up my alternative hotspot just to make sure if we have any issues moving forward on the show that we got a backup to the backup just in case the new program isn't working the way we want it to work. So let me see if I can figure this out. It is now 3:05. I got a note at 3:04 from Scott that we had a problem. If you guys can hear me now, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. It looks like the internet is working, but if not, I'd like to know. Hopefully, if not, we'll go to the backup. But it looks like everything is good. Okay, I see Scott. I see Nancy. Can I get a thumbs up, guys? Or we're good. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. We're looking good. We're back in business. Okay, so I was saying before I had a bit of a glitch there. I'm about to put together a MOOC, and a MOOC is a massive online course, and I'm playing the role of executive producer. I'm going to be interviewing and bringing people in that are curriculum advisors and curriculum designers to help me design the curriculum, and I'm going to be bringing in people who want to actually present the curriculum. These are going to be professors, faculties, and what I'm imagining so far is about an 18-week course laid in using all kinds of video and all kinds of tools and arrangements that we've had set out, and hopefully everybody can get a chance to participate in that. But my whole goal is to create a massive online course that thousands of entrepreneurs from all over the world can take, and in doing, grab the information, the knowledge, the skills, and more importantly, the relationships they need to have to move themselves forward, to get themselves back in business and make sure that this COVID-19 thing doesn't remain a hindrance to them forever. So I'm calling it, the working title of the plan is called the Bounce Back. So this is going to be the Small Business Bounce Back workshop, online course. I don't know how it's all going to work out, but if anybody knows anybody who is excellent at curriculum design or excellent at delivering curriculum in an exciting and powerful way, I love to meet them, love to talk to them. And that's a little something that I would appreciate you moving on. And if you want to share with them old episodes of Coffee, Tea, You and Me, that would be really great. The whole goal is for this course to be free. I love to be sponsored by a chamber or a major association. Prayerfully, I'll have the Kaufman Foundation kind of pick this up as a part of their program. And maybe later on, we could turn it into a certification class that small businesses all over the world could take for free. And then it will help them get the funding they need, or help them demonstrate that they have knowledge and skills and abilities in the small business community. So that's the goal. Hopefully it works out pretty well. And we're going to get our program started now that we got rid of the technical glitches. And so after these messages, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, for the next few weeks, we're going to be getting into what I call the 7 habits of highly effective networkers. And this came about because, as some of you may know, I produce tons of content and tons of workshops and programs that are related to structuring and creating powerful business relationships. It's very, very important. I can't stress it enough. The more relationships you have that are strategic and focused on helping promote, supply, drive, and motivate the future business opportunities or future access to opportunities that you may have in your life, the better. Studies show that people who have ongoing, active, open networks that they can depend on are 85% more effective than those who don't. So let you understand a few things. Your knowledge and your skills and your abilities are going to get you about this far when it comes to creating success in your life and in your business. Your knowledge and skills and abilities combined with your skills and abilities in the world of business relationships will get you to 85%. More than writing your goals down. More than anything else, building powerful professional relationships that people that know, like, and trust you, so much so that they're willing to share their resources with you, promote you, sponsor you, help you with the development, is the most critical skill that you could ever do. And so for the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about this, the 7 most powerful habits of highly effective networkers. And it's coming to you from a program that we call the RoundTable Way. Now, I created the RoundTable Way because, as many of you know, I founded an organization, I co-founded an organization with my buddy Darren Marcourt called the RoundTable. And the RoundTable is an exclusive network of professionals that get together on a regular, consistent basis to promote 3 core attributes. And I want to share those with you as soon as I can get the document loaded up here. I'm going to put that information in the chat so you can get that information, right? That's our document, right? The document that I'm sharing with you now is stripped of all the material that you have access to as a member to the roundtable. All the tools and all the equipment and all the resources that you may need to put a lot of these ideas together are really exclusive material that we want to offer just to roundtable members. However, the concepts and the ideas in front of them are the most important part that you can do as long as you understand them. And so that's what I want to do over the next few weeks, is help you understand the concepts, the core concepts, the habits that you need to have and be able to call on regularly and consistently to be a great networker. I've already given you the facts, right? 85% of your success in life is all about not just knowing and being competent at what you do, but having the right people know that you are competent and be excited about supporting you one way or the other. That's critical to all of our success. And it's a skill that we're not taught. It's a skill that, quite frankly, we learn, most of us who learn it the hard way. And I want everybody within the sound of my voice to learn these things the easy way. So we're going to go over it. All right, so if you're able to pull that document up, please do. If you're able to link it to your phone or your computer, download it if you want to. I don't care. This is yours to do whatever you want to do with. If you want to keep it, if you want to, do whatever. Like I said, it's stripped of the links. This is not a member document. This is a non-member document. And so I'm going to have to explain a lot of things there. If you can, on page 1, the first page, you're going to see an image. You're going to see an image of me and my buddy Darren. But you're going to see 3 circles that are joined together. These 3 circles are critical because these are the core values that we believe exceptional networkers understand, know how to work within, and know how to create and use all the time. These 3 core values are collaboration, encouragement, and communication. Collaboration, encouragement, and communication. These are the 3 keys to networking leadership. 3 keys of leadership that you got to get, you got to understand, you got to work within. So the roundtable exists to promote those ideas, to share those ideas, to work within those ideas, and help our members specifically really take those ideas and take them to the rest of the world. Anybody who would like to be a member of the roundtable, these are the ideas that we're going to talk about quite a bit. We're going to talk about them. We're going to share about them. We're going to practice them. We have tools and developmental issues around those ideas and concepts. So if you're a person who has to do it your way and has to do it without any help at all, you're not going to be a good collaborator, right? So all the skills and things we have to develop in terms of teaching our members how to network better, means that you have to understand that you can't really do very much by yourself. Just stop thinking as a me, I person. You have to be able to get outside of your own and come into somebody else's thoughts, somebody else's ideas and concepts, and really be able to empathize with them enough that they can feel like they're understood. It's critical to networking success. And then there's encouragement. We need to build our members up and people that are part of our organization up in such a way as they know what they can do to encourage others. They know how to encourage others. They know what their own strengths are, their own values are, their own principles. And so they're so good at articulating what those are, they're able to share them so well with others. And that becomes a source of encouragement. They're able to listen so well to others, understand and see, even themselves, and encourage them to strengthen their strengths and know how to support. They know how to deliver. They know how to help somebody else thrive. So encouragement is super important. The most important aspect of all 3 of the 3 leadership commitments to networking is communication. Your ability to show up and deliver a message that is well received and understood. Your ability to listen to others and identify issues, problems, ways to support, ways to help, ways to share. All of that's a part of a great communication strategy. If you don't have a great communication strategy, please don't play with people, because you do more damage than not. Okay, the vision overall of the roundtable is vast, is huge, and it's very, very important. Our mission, our vision is really to become the most exciting, the most enduring, the most passionate, the most effective global association of entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professionals that understand those three core values and principles. And our sense of mission behind it means everything to us. This is what you can call us on. You can say, we're outside of our scope. If we're not helping with collaboration, encouragement, and communication, then we're outside the scope of our mission. It's how we stay aligned. So we're looking to identify with more people, more organizations, more individuals that can accept and embrace this mission and collaborate with us, help us to grow, and help us and let us help you grow. That's key to who we are and what we believe in and how we hope to change the world in one little step at a time, one heart and mind at a time, one organization at a time, one geographic area at a time as we grow. But we want to be a global provider. We want to be a world changer. And that's our vision, and that's our mission, and how we're trying to do it. Here are the 7 habits. I'm going to read the 7 habits to you today. But we're going to go deep into all the 7 habits over the next few weeks. But I'm going to read them to you today, just so you have just familiar with them. You have to, if you're going to work with others, then you have to consistently have a strategy session. You have to consistently know how to get in front of them, stay in front of them, move the needle, create strategy together, and move things forward. If you understand most professional relationships, they tend to be transactional. They tend to be, somebody buys something, somebody sells something, somebody serves the product, the service, or whatever, and then they're done, right? It's all transactional. Committed relationships have a trajectory. They have a consistency to them that allows people to project, here's what we're going to be able to do in the future. Here's how we're going to help each other grow. Here's what we're going to talk about when we get together, and here's how we're going to move the needle forward. You have to be in relationship to move relationships forward. You can't be in transaction. That's not a relationship. Relationship is something that you can depend on, something that you can fall back on, something that you can move forward. Number 2, meeting performances. You have to be able to be really, really good together. When you come together, you can't waste time, with superficial issues and ideas and concepts. If you are that kind of person, if you're working with people who are those kinds of people, then you're not going to get very much done. So you have to know how to have very powerful, very expressive, very important meetings where everybody involved knows what they're doing, but they know how to get to trust quickly, because that's the critical piece of all relationships. Can you get to trust quickly? Can you get to a point where you have developed and are leading and are continuing to grow together? And that only happens when you're meeting consistently and you're performing in those meetings. So meeting performance is critical. That's habit number 2. Habit number 3, you have to be a student of networking. Basically, you have to be a student of emotional intelligence and social intelligence. You have to know how to work well with others. The question, do you play well with others? Because, and I mean others that don't look like, think like, and act like you all the time. Because if you can't play with people who have divergent thoughts, different ideas, different concepts, different things to bring to the table, if you can't figure out how to do that well, then you're not going to be in relationships. The relationships you have are the relationships you have right now. You're not going to develop new relationships because you're not going to be open to people with different ideas, and you're not going to be able to take that openness and that ability to be open and move the relationship forward. Very, very important. You need to be a student of people. You have to study people's behavior. You have to know if you say something or you do something, people that you're working with, the closest to, or your stakeholders, wherever they are, you have to know what they're going to experience and how they may respond. Other than that, then you're just kind of showing up and throwing up on people. You're just blah, blah, blah. You're just burping out loud. You're just really creating a whole bunch of noise that really is not useful. People can't grab it and move through with it. So you have to be a student of people. I should change that. Because you have to know how people interact socially. You have to know people interact and how their emotions and their feelings interact with each other, so that you know how to engage in a powerful way, right? That's habit number 3. Habit number 4, you must develop a warm and inviting spirit. You must be the kind of person that people are attracted to and want to be around because of who you are in your character. You got to be that kind of person, and you have to develop that if you're not that, if you want to network successfully with people, because no one wants to be around people who make them feel uncomfortable. And so you have to be good at making a diverse cast of people feel comfortable working with you. It's a skill. It's a talent. It's something that you have to identify, learn, do, and develop. So we're going to teach that. That's habit number 4. Habit number 5 is being able to be so attractive that you can bring people along with you, that you can recruit people into your team, that you can get people to see your vision, see your mission, jump on board, and move with you. That's going to be a key to all of your success. Because if you don't have a strategy, a game plan, a well thought out program, when you start talking to people, you'll have no evidence to back it up. You'll have nothing to say, this is why this is valuable. You'll have no third-party information. You'll have no marketing materials. You'll have nothing to suggest that you know what you're talking about, except that you're talking. And that's great for people who buy into just personality, politics, or whatever that is. But for people who need to see evidence that what you're suggesting is possible, they're going to want to know what your strategy is. They're going to know how you're going to do what you want to do. They're going to need to be able to see something, read something, reflect on something that then gives them the confidence they need to have in you to jump on the team, to move forward. You can't just say, come on with me. People need a reason for that. They need a reason to believe that coming along with you is going to be meaningful to them, and they're going to be special in the process. They're going to feel like they belong to something in the process. Your ability to demonstrate, share, and show, that is what recruiting is all about. I don't know many, well, we'll talk about that later. And number 6 is living the RoundTable way. We've already talked about earlier what our core concepts are, but all of our core concepts, if you believe them and if you work with them and if you use them as a part of your daily existence, and you ask yourself, how am I collaborating today? How am I communicating today? How am I, creating moments where people feel encouraged today? Whether it's online or offline or wherever that is, if I'm doing those things actively every day, how's it working? How's it going? How do I know it's working well? These are questions they're going to answer when we start talking about living the RoundTable way. What does that mean? What does it look like? What does it walk and talk? You know that. And then last but not least, my favorite part, my favorite habit, is the commitment to continuous learning, is the commitment to grow. It's understanding that if you're not growing, you're standing still. And if you're standing still, the world is passing you by, because time waits for no man, right? It's a process that's going on in life. Life is a process, and either you're in it and you're moving along with it, or you're falling behind and you're in the process of dying. You're in the process of isolation. You're in the process of moving backwards, even though you think you might be taking forward steps. If you're not going along the flow of life, of human history, you're not being able to enjoy what's in front of you and still keep moving forward, enjoying what you have and keep moving forward. It's very difficult. Life will be very difficult, and it's hard to catch up with lessons not learned or strategy not understood. So it's very, very important that you embrace. The 7th habit is embrace continuous learning. We're going to talk about that. So far, I hope you all are with me. I know that we're going to be biting off a lot over the next couple of days. Before we get into the 2 habits that we're going to work with today, what happened? I see people are having technical difficulties for some reason. I don't know what they are. but I have a lot of people who are still logged in. And okay, all righty. I'm sorry that you got to go, Nancy. I'm hoping that somehow we can figure it out. It looks like everything's working well on my side, so maybe it's something on your side. But if not, it was good to have you on board, sweetie. Hopefully we'll catch you next time. Okay, Scott says everything's working well. Okay, all right, then we're gonna keep the party going. If you go back to the document that I shared with you guys, you're gonna see an illustration in at the top right-hand corner of the, looks like the third page. And these are the benefits that our members claim. And there's actually more than 26 benefits. If you see that little concentric circle where it says collaboration, encouragement, and communication, but outside in the green box, you see these benefits. There's 6 benefits. These are the 6 benefits that overwhelmingly most of our members say they have experienced by using the 7 habits that we're going to talk about over the next few weeks. So people are seeing a serious uptick in their passion for what they do, right? And you can't discount that. People usually have passion for what they do when they get started, but then it gets watered down because of the pressure and all the different things that happen, right? When people are involved with our principles and they really make them live in their lives, they reignite that passion. They know how to go back and get fired up again. It's critically important. Growth, obviously, we talked about growth earlier. People who are embrace the 7 habits see themselves growing, and they grow, and they feel like they're growing all the time, and they don't feel left behind. They don't feel like they're not doing what they need to do to move themselves forward. That level of confidence is critically important because they know they're developing new skills. They see themselves developing new skills. They get the feedback. They see that, you know, they can feel themselves moving forward, and that gives them confidence. That gives them confidence to know that, you know, there's a future, there's hope, there's all kinds of opportunities out there in front of them that, you know, are going to be amazing. So they love that. That's one of the key benefits that people say that they receive. Up the top, there's connection. Feeling like, again, you're not alone in the world and you have meaningful significance and relevance with other people is key to developing your life and knowing that you're not in this thing by yourself, but you have a team, you have people around you that are as committed as you are to growing and learning how to collaborate, learning how to encourage others, learning how and doing it, communicating more effectively. And then, of course, focus. We all know how important focus is, right? But people are saying they're able to stay focused on what they're doing and how they're doing it. I can tell you right now, it's because other people are around and checking on you. Other people are around and going, hey, remember last week you said you were going to do blah, 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 blah. How's that going? And you know you have to be accountable to a core group of people that care about the same things you care about. It allows you to focus. It allows you not to get sidetracked. It doesn't matter whether it's COVID-19 or anything. You know, it's important. And then there's empowerment. That sense that you have the tools, you have the people, you have the relationships, you have the skills, you have everything you need to go wherever you want to go, as fast as you want to get there or as slow. And so that sense of empowerment, knowing that you can do what it is you're trying to do without question, is very important, specifically for entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs are risk takers by definition. And so they're taking what we hope is a calculated risk that they know how to win, even if nobody else would consider this something special, something unique, something that is a gold mine. The entrepreneur themselves, they have to have it. They have to believe. And when you have the right skills and the right network around you, there's no reason not to believe, because you're going to get the validation. You're going to get the feedback. You're going to get everything on your ideas that you can possibly get because people are going to be there for you. That's the benefits of people understanding and using the principles of collaboration and so a little later on, and other places. But that's a framework out of the way. The 7 habits are so critical. It's because of those benefits. It's because those benefits are critical. And those benefits are special. Even the members go, what do you get out of this thing? And they told us. So we didn't say we're trying to the first 2 habits. Having consistent strategy sessions with people that you're in constant communication with in your relationship with, and number 2, meeting performance. Okay. So it's true. When we're willing to set up consistent strategy sessions with people that we want to be in relationship with, it's easy to begin the process of establishing how we can share resources. If you know what I'm up to, and I know what you're up to, I understand, I empathize with what you're up to, I naturally want to help. And you naturally want to help me. And what we automatically have, we know we all have time, we all have talent, we all have treasure of some type. The question is, really, what do we have in abundance? That might be our expertise, right? Our talent. It might be our organizational skills, our ability to help manufacture and create more time. Not that you can create more time, but use the time you have more effectively, right? Or you might have a truckload of money and you don't need to spend it all, but you can use it to empower someone else. When you come across somebody with a great idea that you can see, amazing, it will happen, it's going to do great things for the world, the universe, the person, and you have an opportunity to invest in that, and then you don't. What does that say about your character? I want you to think about that, because that's what's at stake. Every time you see an opportunity, believe in an opportunity, but don't engage in a way that's going to support that person or that opportunity. I'm not talking about begging. I'm talking about seeing talent, seeing something that could be amazing, and doing what you can to empower it, right? That's called support. And you've got to think that through. So how do you do it if you don't actually talk to one another? How do you do it if you don't meet regularly and consistently with each other and get past that awkwardness of the first couple of times we meet and have a cup of coffee and talk about the good old days or some of the things we used to do in our past or some experiences we've had or interested in? That's all fine and good. But you got to get down to where we're going. The best relationships know and understand who each other are, and they're on a trajectory towards a future goal, an idea, a concept, a vision, a mission that they want to share with one another, that they want to do to support and help each other. Let me tell you why this is critical. If you are in a relationship and you don't have a meeting coming up, you don't know when you're going to get together with that person, when you're going to see that person, when you're going to be able to share concepts and ideas with that person, then your relationship is a fractured one. It's not one that is alive and well. The health of any relationship requires consistent proximity, whether that proximity could be long distance, could be on the telephone, could be on a video conference, it could be whatever you need it to be in order to keep that relationship progressively moving forward. But if you're out of sight, quite frankly, you're out of mind. And people make promises that they'll get back to you someday, and it shows up in the calendar, that no schedule shows up in it to make it happen. And then it doesn't happen, and then people feel guilty that they didn't get back to you in a timely fashion, and then they got to get over the guilt and deal with that, or avoid you altogether because they made promises that they couldn't keep, or they overextended themselves, or didn't know what to say yes to, so they said yes to too many things, and now the brunt of it was on you because you had expectations that they didn't come through with. You see what the problem is. But if you have regularly scheduled, consistent meetings with someone that you want to be in a professional relationship with, I don't care what that is. It could be mentorship. It could be therapy. It could be coaching. It could be advising, consulting. Anything of the 5 habits or the 5 skills that we can share with each other, typically these professional skills, any of these 5, coaching, consulting, advising, therapy, even, there's one more missing. Coaching, advising, consulting, therapy. I'll come up with it. I'll remember the 5th one in a second. But think about that. If people if they don't know what their skills are, they don't know how to communicate them to others, then they don't know how to share with others. Someone can't say, for me, I'm a great listener. I'm a great coach. I'm a great advisor. I'm a great counselor. I'm a pretty good friend. I like to think so. When I'm in active relationship is when all these things kind of come through. But when I'm not in active relationship, then we remember what we had. That's long term. It's gone. It's not happening because we're not in active relationship to each other. We are in passive relationship with each other. And so we can remember the good old days, but we're not current. I don't know what's going on with you next week. I don't know what you're up to. I don't know what you're doing. And I don't know how I can add to or help that if we haven't communicated what those things are, if we haven't talked about those things and agreed to the support. And so if I offer support, I'm offering support in a vacuum. I'm saying I can help you with this, but if you have no need for that, that's sort of a waste of energy and time. I'm putting myself out there, but might be obligatory. You might say, well, because he's offering, I'm going to accept it. You don't really want it. You really can't do anything with it. Here I am trying to be meaningful, trying to be significant, trying to be relevant, right? But what you're receiving is not. And so either you got to come back to me with a false sense of acceptance that's not really real, false sense of thanks and appreciation, which is not really real. You got to appreciate the effort, but not the gift. That's not really what any of us are looking for. If we do something, we're looking for real, meaningful connection. We're really looking for significance. We're looking for relevance, right? And so doing that, having the consistent meetings and talking and sharing, using the 3 key leadership principles we talked about earlier, right? Very, very important. Strategy sessions. We call our meetings, our personal meetings with each other, strategy sessions, because the goal is to create a strategy that we're going to use to empower each other. It's a strategy session. Not a one-on-one, not a 1-2-1, not a getting together, not a hanging out. It is a strategy session for the reason that you would ever create a strategy to move forward. I hope you all understand where that's coming from. The next part of having consistency strategy sessions, right? Not just sharing what you have, but understanding the desire and the relevance that comes with being willing to serve. If I know what your needs are, if I know where you're going and what constraints might be in front of you, if I know what your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats are, I just shared something with you. That's a SWOT analysis. If you've communicated those things adequately to me, then I can assess what I have to offer and make an offer that is going to be meaningful. But if I don't know because it wasn't communicated effectively to me when we were having our strategy session, then it's very difficult for me to pull out of my head something that I can bring to the table. It could be another relationship. It could be a friend. It could be another associate that I think you need to meet in order to help you, right? But if I don't really know what the needs are, again, then I don't know how to support. You're not helping me. I got to go figure it out. You're making it difficult when you should be making it easy. So do the assessment on yourself first. Figure out what it is you need. What is your plan? What is your strategy? How are you going to execute it? What holes do you see in front of you? What opportunities out there for you? What weaknesses are there for you? What threats? What strengths? Be able to articulate these things, because when you can, with a listening ear, a person trying to be relevant, trying to be meaningful, trying to be significant, has what they need to help figure it out. And they will volunteer if it's exciting. If where you're going is exciting, if your vision or your mission is interesting, they'll jump on board. They'll want to do something to help. Again, it's a part of our innate human nature. If you ask me for directions, I'm going to want to help you. especially if you really, really want to go there, if you really, really need it, if it's really vital or important. I'm going to try to help you to the best of my ability. And if I can't help you, I might even try to find somebody else who will help you. It is my natural innate tendency. Everybody has it. Now, the person of bad character, here's a person's need for help, understands it, and ignores it. And that's because they don't have that internal value system. That's what that's all about for us. That's what we say: communication, encouragement, collaboration. If you don't like that, if you don't love that, if those value systems don't mean anything to you, those values don't mean anything to you, then people come to you with needs and ideas and thoughts or whatever, and you got nothing for them because you don't care. You're not ready. You don't have the resources. You can't think outside of your own box for whatever reason, right? That's an issue, but that has nothing to do with helping someone else move forward. You may need a therapist. Who knows? But the whole point of the consistent strategy sessions is to do it in the way that I just outlined. Make sure that you know what resources you have to share. Make sure you can articulate what resources you have to share. Make sure you can articulate what your needs are. You have some kind of strategy, some kind of plan, some kind of vision of what you're going for. And the more we can communicate back and forth those things, the better we can do to help each other. The more we can do to support one another, the more we can do to communicate, collaborate, and encourage one another, right? Habit number two, meeting and performing well when we meet. We've got all kinds of tools available for our friends, our members, people that we participate with. And if you were looking at our live document that we share with our members, you see all kinds of links to all kinds of special tools and programs here. So I'm going to run you through some of those things and what it means. When people ask you what you do, what you say right after that matters a lot. And I see people flub this all the time. It's your time to introduce yourself. It's your time to show up. It's your time to perform. It's your time to make the magic happen. And you do everything but make the magic happen. So we had to create a program called the 5 Elements of Perfect Presentation. If you follow these 5 elements, you will be able to give a magical 1-minute presentation about who you are, what you're looking for, that makes people excited, that gets people interested, that gets people on board. We teach you what to say. More importantly, we teach you what not to say so that you get it. The 5 elements of perfect presentation have been used since the dawn of man to tell stories. Stories are how human beings are hardwired to remember. We can remember and then we can transmit and tell somebody else if the story is done and delivered correctly. So that's the whole goal of being able to, when you share with who you are, what it is that you do, what it is you need help with, you have to learn how to put it in a story format so that the story itself is something that others can go, they can emote around it, they can remember it, and more importantly, they can share it with other people. So in your meetings, when somebody asks you, what do you do? And you start off with blah, blah, my name is blah, 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 blah. My company is blah, 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 blah. We've been in the industry for blah, 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 blah years. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You got to hit them in the head with a benefit right off the bat. We help entrepreneurs save themselves from themselves so that we can get around the statistical destruction that every small business finds themselves facing. Now you want to know, well, how do you do that? Right? Because the benefit is so strong. Now you tell a story. You got a couple seconds? Can I tell you a quick story? People go, yeah. Then you hit them with a story, with a character that they feel connected to, with a sadness and some pain and some suffering and some anguish. If your program does not deliver people from pain and anguish, you don't have anything worth talking about. And I guarantee you, everybody who has a service, process, or program does exactly that. They rescue people from problems that could derail their lives, their businesses. That's what they do. If you see it as a commodity and that's what you're doing, then everybody else is going to see it as a commodity because you don't have any passion behind it. It's nothing that's personal to you. It's just business. Just business is no fun. It's not interesting, not passionate. It's not enough to invite people to participate in your success, to invite people to share the good news of who you are. This is super important. If you don't get around that idea of telling stories that really are effective, and if you're a member of the Roundtable, you have access to the 5 elements of perfect presentation. Read it, download it, get to it. If you want access to the 5 elements of perfect presentation, do me a favor, put it in a DM. I will send it to you because I believe in empowering people. I don't believe in holding anything back, but that is a membership privilege, and I'll be honored to anybody who hears the show and goes, I really want that 5 elements of perfect presentation. I'll send it to you, but you got to ask for it, because I'm going to ask you, by the way, to read it and give me feedback. So if you're not going to give me feedback, don't ask for it. Okay, so I'm going to be beating you up for the feedback. It's very important that you learn how to deliver a perfect presentation. When somebody asks you what you do, you have to come out of your mouth with something that makes sense, something that is relevant, something that's meaningful, something that drives home the point of not just what you do, but what you need, what they can do for you. Do it wrong, and you may miss a golden opportunity. Do it right, and you will gain so many more opportunities, more than you can imagine, and then you have to figure out what to do with all this opportunity that comes in front of you, right? Because who wants to speak and nobody's listening, right? You have to learn how to speak in a way that you create listeners, that you empower people to listen to what you have to say, right? Super important. Okay, the next tool we have in understanding how to create higher performance with people that you're in relationship with is the RAP report. Now, the RAP report is critically important again. Why? When you have an understanding of how to show and share respect, affection, and praise to people who deserve it without any level of fear or shyness or hesitation. This you can do in any moment when someone has impressed you, in any moment when someone has supported you, in any moment where you feel a connection. You can show respect, affection, and praise. When you miss that moment, every time you decide, well, this isn't appropriate. Every time you decide, well, maybe I'll talk to them at some point. I'll send them a note later on. Or every time you decide that you're going to put it off for a future date, you are running the risk that you'll be bumping into the problem that exists of why I wrote this program in the first place. I know that individuals in organizations all over the world right now today are not sure of their value. They're not sure that they're doing meaningful work. They're not sure that they're relevant. They're not sure that they're significant or special. They're not sure because their team members and their leaders aren't doing anything regularly and consistently to affirm and confirm to them that their work matters, that they matter. I wrote the RAP report because I got tired of going to funerals for friends and other associates, and I see people crying and wailing and weeping, not just because they missed the person, because something was undone. They're upset because they never got to share with this person what they meant to them. They never got to tell the person while they were alive, express the feeling they have for the person. Now I know in the workplace, unwanted advances are exactly that, right? They're unwanted advances. I'm not saying stalk people or pounce on people or give people more than is appropriate. What I am saying is respect, affection, and praise is always appropriate if done the right way, in the right time, where it matters. And when it's done well, people always feel grateful that someone acknowledges the gifts, the effort, the strategy, the consistency, whatever it is that they are contributing. Being acknowledged for that contribution makes all the difference in the world. People leave organizations because they don't get acknowledgement, not because they got passed over for a promotion. That becomes right the last straw, right? I got passed over for promotion. I didn't get acknowledged for participation on the team, or whatever it was, right? It's usually having to do with feeling disrespected. It's usually having to do with feeling insignificant, feeling irrelevant, like they don't matter. So when they stand up and protest, when they stand up and have go postal, right? Literally, think about what's really happening. This is a person who feels like they've been wronged. They've not had their just rewards. It's very important. That's why I wrote the RAP approach and the RAP report. And I created it because I got tired of people having excuses for why they couldn't give people their flowers while they live. It's a great program. You can find it on LinkedIn. Just go on my LinkedIn page and put in RAP report, and it should pop up as a program that I've written, and that should be hot links to more information and more tools. But it is a critically important thing that I created to help corporations and communities begin to get in front of some of these things that are causing their retention to be so poor, and give leaders an excuse to actually support the team members they have and the people that they have with them. Give team members an excuse to support each other. So if you ever come to the roundtable meeting, what you're going to experience is everybody gets an opportunity at the end of the meeting to say something nice, to share what they're impressed with, their respect, affection, and praise for one person. That's it. One person. Don't split the praise. Don't split it amongst 5,000 people, whatever that is, and thank everybody, because everybody is nobody, right? You don't want to be insignificant. You want to be significant. So it's one person. If you have more than one person to thank, you thank them next week, right? If you've been out networking, you had 7 strategy sessions that all went well this week. Okay. Then you have 7 RAP reports to deliver, 1 every week for the next 7 weeks. And if somebody adds on to it, by the time you get to them, there you go. That's when you add on to it. The whole reason for this is to make sure that everybody's getting that praise, that public recognition, that the honor of their contribution. I can't stress that enough. Because so many of us are alone. So many of us feel irrelevant and insignificant. This is one of my favorite books. This is Loneliness by Dr. Dan Cacioppo. I met and spoke with Dr. Cacioppo before he passed away. Before he died, I think early last year or the year before, late the year before. We shared with him, and he shared with us, the critical nature of loneliness. And if anybody's interested, you can probably still see his TED Talk. It's just John Cacioppo. Sorry for the mix up on the name. John Cacioppo. He's the author of Loneliness. You can catch his TED Talk. He's from University of Chicago, and he's the global expert on loneliness. And he considers loneliness a pathology that affects the UK and America more than any other countries on the planet. Now, the deep effects of loneliness are basically death. Humans are not meant to be alone. We're not meant to be isolated. We're not meant to exist on this planet without the benefit and the help of each other. So when you give somebody, when you try the rap approach and try to work with other people, letting them know what they mean to you, how significant they are in real time as soon as you can. It is so important to help them turn the tide against bad health outcomes. Because when you isolate, what tends to happen to human beings is you start to go backwards in terms of your experience. Morbidity goes up because of blood we seem to be Gavin. Okay, it seems like I'm back again. I don't know if this problem is going to continue. I hope it is not. It looks like I have a pretty good connection now. So we'll see where we go from here. Sorry about that misfire, guys. But it looks like the program still hung in there for me somehow. I had to restart it, which is good. So if anybody has any questions about anything you talked about so far, anything related to the first two habits, I really appreciate it. I know that, I like to know if anybody wants to, literally share, have you gotten into problems or issues with the first two habits? Have you had issues where no one wants to have strategy sessions with you, or your strategy sessions aren't effective for whatever reasons, or your performance when you show up to meetings or in strategy sessions don't really measure up for whatever reason? Let me know what you're experiencing. There's pretty much answers for everything. Let me know how you're doing it and what's messing up in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to jump in and answer any questions that you have. Let me see who's still here. I still see, okay, I got everybody still here. All right. Any questions? I'm gonna give it a chance for the feedback to come through. Yes, Nancy, I'll get you the 5 elements of perfect presentation. Thank you very much. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna share that right now. Because you asked, I'm gonna give it to you right now. Everybody's gonna get it, but the only person that owes me feedback is Nancy. How about that? Didn't I say I wasn't gonna give it to everybody? I can't help it. I'm a sharer. Shoot me. Where is it? 5 elements. Benefits. That's more stuff. Go back to the roundtable guide. Come on, come on, come on. Guys, put any questions you have in the chat while I'm looking for this thing. Yeah, got it. I found it. We're good. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Okay. Boom. There it is. In the chat, you'll find the 5 elements of perfect presentation. It's on my Google Drive as well as my hard drive. So if you have questions about it, if you can't download it, let me know. But you should be able to open it up and then download it for yourself onto your own PC. Having said that, it is 4:02 and we are ready to call it a day. Who is on today? We got a lot of people on. Thank you very much for everybody who's watching it. If you haven't, by the way, if you haven't liked this on Google, I really appreciate it. If you're on Facebook or whatever, feel free to share it. Yes, we are allowed to share. Paris, I see you out there. Thank you very much for your help, and I really appreciate you. If there's any questions that you all have, by the way, just let me know, and I will help you deal with the questions. I see Scott answered Paris's question as well. Thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate you, bro. What else am I looking at here? Is any technical difficulties? We talked about that already. Nancy's back. We got that already. Did I miss any questions? Oh, there's a new one. There's something coming in. Thanks, Marvin, for a great presentation. I appreciate you, Scott. Thank you so very much. And by the way, here's another look at the Google Drive in case you don't get it. It's in the chat. All right, I don't have any questions. So if I don't have any questions, yeah, I am thinking of Panera. You saw me wiping my mouth. That's Scott going to you thinking about Panera. It's funny. If you don't have any questions, guys, I'll hang out until you get tired. But if you don't have any questions, we're kind of done. So about anything we've talked about today, I'll field any question you have, anything you want to know more about, anything you want to learn, feel free to fire it away. And I'm going to take a sip of my water. If I don't hear any questions, we're going to call it a day. All righty. This is Coach Powell signing off. I love you guys. Thank you so much for paying attention.